What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wednesday, the college football playoff is set up. In today's video, we're going to go over the entire bracket from start to finish. I'm going to give you guys who I think is going to win each game all the way up until the championship round. I'm probably going to have some more content out in terms of going over totals and spreads for these games. And yesterday, I dropped my NFL Week 15 predictions for every single game. Be sure to check that video out. That video has another whiteboard winning free pick. Of course, the Jags was last week. My record is 20-8 season to date. That is above a 71% winning percentage. Check out the video I posted yesterday. Get my prediction on all the NFL games this week and get that whiteboard winning free pick. I think it's going to cash again. And just speaking of overall, just in general, guys, I'm coming off a 6-1 NFL Week 14, up 15.2 units on Sunday. I uploaded that video for you guys on Monday with the same game parlay. Cash that as well. I'm locked in on NFL right now. It's going to be another big week. I've actually already sent out one NFL play that I just had to lock in early. I just loved it so much. I already sent it out to the client list. If you guys want all my plays, get them. The link is right in the description, guys. danspicks.net. That's my website. You get a week of picks, month of picks, whatever you want to do based on money. Obviously, your unit cost is better with the higher term packages, but that's up to you guys. We've been betting college basketball this week as well. Actually, last night we cashed. We had a 1-0 day, took advantage of Rutgers on the money line. So we went 1-0, gained a unit, another unit on the total in college basketball. So good sign there. And we got some extra time to prepare for these college games. So looking forward to betting those as well. Again, guys, link to my website in the description. Another monster NFL week is definitely coming up. Let's get to it, man. Here we go. College football playoff. Let's go. Tennessee, Ohio State. You know, I'm going to actually kind of make a couple notes here as well. Look, this is this is a very interesting game. Let me actually bring up the spread just out of curiosity on these ones. And we can look at some money splits too in today's video, see where the early money is. It's super early. Like I said, guys, we got to wait a whole nother week. It's not this weekend. We got a whole nother week. We got to wait for these games. But the early money for Tennessee and Ohio State, we're looking at a 7 or a 7.5 point spread. Right now on Bet Rivers, you can get 7.5 with Tennessee. And a lot of money's on Tennessee, man. A lot of the early money is on Tennessee. But a little bit of sharp action on Ohio State. We'll see how the money flows in as we get closer to game time. Look, I like Ohio State to win this game, but I think it's going to be barely. I think the huge speed bump, the huge screw up by Ohio State in that Michigan game, that's college football. That's rivalry. That's what happens in the sport. I mean, these are kids at the end of the day. When you have a big rivalry, we've seen it on certain years where Alabama, I'm talking like Nick Saban, Alabama, like juggernaut elite program, Alabama. You know, we've seen Auburn give them all they can handle. It's rivalry. It's rivalry. We saw West Virginia football way back when they were number 2 in the country, about to go to a national championship, and all they had to do was beat Pitt, who wasn't even ranked, and they lose. I mean, we've seen it time and time again over history. So I'm not going to put too much stock into Ohio State losing to Michigan. I think it was more the rivalry than like Ohio State being bad. I actually really do like this Ohio State team. I don't like the coach, but I like the defense. And I love that Tennessee defense as well. But somebody's got to score points if they want to win the game. I do have more faith in Ohio State and those receivers. I think Tennessee's a little bit one-dimensional. And if the ground game is working, they can absolutely pull off the upset. It's not going to surprise me if Tennessee wins. But I think Ohio State, Tennessee, low-scoring game, grind-out game, one-possession game. Ohio State is going to get it done. They're going to play Oregon. Moving down, Clemson, Texas. Oh, my gosh, totally forgot. Tomorrow, the big news, the big video you guys are waiting on. Round 1 of your boys' ladder challenge. Yes, I'm going to take $1,000 and turn it into $25,000. I'm not going to take like $1 and turn it into 10 grand or whatever the people on TikTok do. I'm not going to try to win 10 bets in a row because that's unrealistic. But 5 is very doable. I'm going to start with a lot of money. I know a lot of people don't have $1,000 just to start something like this with. But tail it for fun if you want. Tail it for whatever money you have if you want. Bet responsibly. You guys know the drill. But I will be dropping that video tomorrow. If you guys go and you get yesterday's video to 250 likes, I think we only need like 10 more. So swing by there if you haven't yet. Hit the like button on that NFL Week 15 video. And I'll drop another same game parlay for Thursday Night Football tomorrow. I love the game. It is a prop betting gold mine, I guess you could say. Texas is winning this one. I'll make this one pretty quick. Let's look at the spread. I think it's still 10.5 or 11.5. 11, 12. Bet Rivers is a 12. ESPN Bet is a flat 11 at -105, which is actually a pretty good cost there. Look, Texas is winning this game. Clemson was rigged to beat SMU. In my opinion, based on refs and stuff like that, the brand value of having Clemson in the mix, it looked like a very, very favorable thing to get Clemson into the playoffs. So they did their part, right? You get Clemson in, you help boost the initial viewership, you get the nice big brand in there, and then they get flattened. It's a bad spot for them. They're playing Texas, who's off a loss. I have no faith in Clemson being able to move the ball consistently against this Texas defense. I just don't. And I think Texas is going to get organized. I think those losses to Georgia really reset them. Now, you could absolutely make the argument, who has Texas beat? I mean, is Vanderbilt their best win? I mean, Texas A&M, look, I get it. The schedule's not great. The resume is not great. Eye test. I think they were better than Georgia. I thought Georgia got very fortunate that Carson Beck got injured. You brought in this new guy. Texas had no game plan for the new guy. They had no film on this new guy. He created a spark. He created energy. It was a contagious, just overwhelming avalanche of momentum that Texas could not deal with. Georgia gets the job done for the second time over Texas. I'm not going to put too much stock into that game. Eye test, looking at that first half, Texas, besides the sloppy penalties, was the far better team. I think they cleaned it up here. And, I don't know about the spread yet, but Texas is going to beat Clemson. Over here in the top right corner, we're looking at Indiana and Notre Dame. And, boy, if there's going to be an upset in round one, I think this could be it. I mean, Notre Dame, how many times do we see Notre Dame get to this stage and fall short? I think they have the advantage physically. I think physically they're going to be in for it, but they're a little bit of like a stick in the mud at times. I don't know if offensively they can keep pace with Indiana. And if you guys saw all the college football videos I did this year, season to date, I was hating on Indiana quite often. I thought Washington should have beaten them. I thought they got very fortunate in that game. I thought Michigan arguably could have beaten Indiana. We saw them got killed by Ohio State. And I am a little bit worried about the physicality here. I mean, Notre Dame's defense is good. The quarterback's come a long way as well. I'm just a little bit worried. I mean, we saw Notre Dame slip up against Northern Illinois. I'm a little bit worried here that Indiana's offense is going to look pretty good. I'm going to say Indiana's going to beat Notre Dame. I'm going to go with the upset in this one. I think Indiana's probably going to get by Notre Dame. I'm going to look into it further. Like I said, most of my focus this week has been NFL so far and this ladder challenge. Still got plenty of time to dig into these games deeper and look at some long-term trends and analytics and projections and models and all that stuff and really come up with some solid picks. But for this video, I'm going to go Indiana over Notre Dame. Bottom right, Penn State, SMU. In my opinion, this test for Penn State is significantly more difficult than their second round matchup. I do think Penn State is going to win this game, but I think it's going to be barely. This could be an upset. I mean, to be honest, this could be an upset. I thought SMU was rigged to lose against Clemson. I really thought like the maybe not just straight rigged, but man, it was just like the roughness call on the quarterback. I mean, there were a lot of things that really changed the outcome of that game, in my opinion, and Clemson still barely survived. This is going to be a test. I think SMU is going to show up in this one. My prediction would be if Penn State can get by SMU, they're going to kill Boise. They're going to beat Boise by so many points, it's not even funny. SMU is significantly better than Boise State, in my opinion. Whoever wins this game will beat Boise State. Boise State will lose. That I can tell you for certain. This game's going to be close. I'm going to go with Penn State. I think they're going to keep that potent SMU offense off the field by keeping their offense on the field. I think the time of possession is going to favor Penn State. I expect the defense to play much better than it did against Oregon. And SMU, they got quite an offense, a lot of weapons over there, but it's no Oregon. It's not Dylan Gabriel back there. The IQ of the quarterback on SMU is not very high. He's athletic. He just doesn't have the IQ. I think the defense, a home game, Penn State, they're going to get the job done. Like I said, I got to look into the spreads and totals a little bit more for betting and sending some stuff out to the client list. Penn State's going to get the job done, though. They're going to advance. So I got Ohio State barely. I got Texas comfortably. I got Indiana, I think, in an upset, and I got Penn State in a very, very close one. Round 2, I got Ohio State beating Oregon. It's just so hard to beat a team twice. We saw Georgia beat Texas twice, but, like I already explained in this video, some things happened that just totally switched the dynamic of that game. Oregon, Ohio State, there's no rivalry there. There might be in the future, but it's not really a big deal. It's not like Ohio State's going to be playing all tight and conservative and scared because they think Michigan's about to pull off some crazy upset. They'll probably be an underdog. It'll be very, very interesting to see the line if it does end up being Ohio State and Oregon. But I'm going to take Ohio State. I think they were close in that first game. That game was out in Eugene. I think Ohio State gets him the second time. So I have Ohio State winning the first game and then beating Oregon to advance. Arizona State and Texas, bottom left there. This is another one where I think we finally see an overrated play, not an overrated player, but a player who is a college player, not a pro player. Cam Skattebo, in my opinion, is not an NFL running back. When you actually are banging against big dogs that want to tackle and take your head off, it's just a different animal. Texas has those guys. I don't see Cam Skattebo being effective against Texas. Iowa State was soft. A lot of the teams in the Big 12 are offensive teams. There's not a lot of nasty dudes in the trenches. Like if you could flip the bracket a little bit and have Arizona State play Tennessee. Tennessee has a really, really, really good defensive line of scrimmage. Texas has it too, and I think they're going to struggle. I think Cam Skattebo is really going to struggle against that Texas D. I actually see the Texas defense being excited. I think they're going to be fired up and they're going to have fun with it. They're going to be like, okay, here we go. Let's show the world that like this guy's not going to run us over. I think it could be a long day for Arizona State. The quarterback, he's looked great, but he could also just flip a switch and look just totally lost out there. I see 2 comfortable wins for Texas, in my opinion. I think it'll be Ohio State playing Texas on the left side of your screen there. Georgia and Indiana. This one's tough too, man. This one's tough too. I got to see the quarterback situation for Georgia. I don't know if Beck's going to come back, in my opinion, regardless of the health of him. And even if you could just flip a switch, put a spell on him with some magic potion, and he'd be 100% healthy, the other guy's better. I'd use the other guy. He throws a nicer ball. He's fearless. He's a big physical guy as well. It's not like he's some small guy or something. That's a really good quarterback. I like him much, much more than Beck in my opinion. So I got to look into the quarterback situation. But I think Georgia is just a little bit too physical. Kirby Smart with the prep time. I mean, he's going to be able to watch that whole Indiana Notre Dame game and take notes and just really pick it apart. I expect the preparation for Georgia to just be significantly better. And that Indiana Notre Dame game, it should be close. It should be competitive. It's going to really take some gas out of the tank for either team, which regardless of who advances there. So pretty significant edge for Georgia. I'll take Georgia in that one. And then, like I said, Penn State, I think they get by SMU, and then they just kill Boise. I think they just absolutely blast Boise. Nuclear bomb Boise. Like, holy shit, this team should not be here, Boise. So give me Penn State. Penn State to play Georgia, and Ohio State to play Texas. Ohio State and Texas. I'm going Texas. Ohio State and Texas both have good defenses. I expect it to be a really low-scoring game, maybe 23-20, maybe 24-23. But ultimately, I like the Texas offense a little bit better than Ohio State. I like Sark better than Ryan Day. And, I just trust that Texas running. I don't know about this Ohio State offense, man. I think the quarterback edge definitely goes to Texas. Give me Texas over Ohio State. And then Georgia and Penn State. I'm going to go with Penn State here, man. I told you guys weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago in my videos that I was really liking Penn State as a potential dark horse for the national championship. The defense against Oregon was very concerning, but Georgia, you don't have to really worry about that. I don't think offensively Georgia's really flying high this year. They kind of beat you in like a physical style game, and Penn State has that. Penn State can match up if that's what you want to turn the game into. They have the defensive linemen. They have the running backs. They have a big, potent tight end that they can use on offense. I think they get a lot of stops. Again, a lot of defense. I see both semifinals being very, very, very close, like a field goal game, a lot of defense, pretty low scoring in general. But just Texas and Penn State, I trust a little bit more offensively. So I have Texas playing Penn State in the national championship, and I have Texas winning the whole thing. I know everyone is questioning the resume. Who's their best win? I mean, they lost to Georgia twice. I get it. Eye test. I like that roster. The only question mark is the coach. But if they can get all the way, and then you have to go up against James Franklin in a game of that level, I'll give the edge to Texas. I think Drew Aller would be in for a very long day against that Texas defense. So that is that's what I'm going with, guys. College football playoff, man. Texas over Penn State is what I'm thinking as of now. Like I said, I'll probably have more videos out going over spreads and totals and stuff like that. But guys, swing by the video I posted yesterday, NFL Week 15. Like I said, you see my numbers. You saw what I did on Monday. You're going to see what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm dialed in with the NFL, man. We're going to rock and roll and finish this NFL season really, really strong. Link in the description. Get on my text list. I'll send you all the plays, even the one that was sent out yesterday. I'll get that play to you immediately. Still good value on that. And the line will continue to move. It's moving in a positive direction. So you guys definitely want the early plays. It pays dividends to be on my text list early in the week. I'm probably going to have 4 or 5 NFL picks before we even get to Saturday, before we even get to Friday. I mean, I'm really starting to finish up the list and check off the boxes on what I'm going to move on. So get on that text list, link in the description. Let me know what you guys think about my college football playoffs down in the comment section below. Who do you like? What's your big upset picks? Because there has to be some in the mix. Don't be too casual here. Something's got to give. I think it's probably Indiana getting by Notre Dame. I could see SMU beating Penn State. That's the tricky one. I told you guys I thought Penn State would go all the way and then lose to Texas, but it's really dependent on game number 1 for them. I think that's probably the hardest test. It's on the home field. See what happens. See you in the next video.